Meghan Markle here.
Today is Sunday, September 28, 2025. It is 7:13 a.m. This is, well, let's just continue. Video 2, but let's continue. Alright, next tweet. And it's regarding leaking that's coming from the UK. Alright, first tweet. Finally, a truthful article on Prince William. Bright Brown is unbeholden and unafraid. UK media, for some disturbing reason, cannot cover the royal family truthfully. Incredulously, they still blame Prince Harry and Meghan for William's failure. But this, alright, let's see here. Prince William still reeling over being blindsided by Harry's move with Charles. It's none of his business. Alright? None of William's business. And he refused to learn. I don't know. He will never learn, so there's that. And then he doesn't want to wait until his turn to become the monarch. He's overstepping his boundaries of the king's duty or something like that. And also, as Charles is Harry's father, so if Charles wants to see his son, that's Charles' prerogative, not William's. Okay, let's say for instance, I don't want to say a negative thing about his kids, but let's say something like that were to happen to William and his kids. What does Harry has to say? Things that's going on between William and his kids? Nothing. So that goes the same way. Charles wants to see Harry. That's between Harry and Charles because they are father and son. That doesn't mean just because William is also the son of Charles, that way William have a say on how Charles run his relationship with Harry. I don't know. This guy is crazy anyway. King Charles and Prince Harry had a hatch up over tea, and apparently William is still spiraling over it, which is not a good look for a future king. So Bridget Brown, that's the person who wrote it, September 25th. Alright, this indulgence left William ill-equipped for the modern public stage. From childhood, it was obvious that he lacked the charisma and instinct that came naturally to his younger brother. Old clips show an insecure, petulant boy awkwardly navigating social settings, visibly envious of the attention Harry attracted. Instead of addressing those deficiencies, whether through special education, therapy, the squad have been saying that, or simply honest feedback, the institution doubled down on protecting the heir at all costs, treated as too precious to fail, told he didn't need to work too hard because Harry will always carry the weight. That's the problem. This is exactly the problem. I think it was one of the recording I did, my last recording, not today's recording. Could have been yesterday. They never put some... I mean, they don't have to go out of their way to put barriers like they do to, let's say, Harry and Meghan or African American. They literally sit down in a boardroom or something and say, we're going to make life difficult for some people. Let's do this to make life difficult for them. Okay? So this is the thing that they did to Harry and Meghan and many other people. But for William, let's say something, let's say, all right, he had a plan. He's going to be doing this. He's going to be doing that. And that's the plan. Now, while following his plan, his blueprint, you already know what's going to come. Unexpected something happened. Okay? Instead of letting him navigate it to this unexpected things or this barrier or this obstacle, they, men in gray suit, quickly ran in front of him to clear the obstacle for him and for him to just pass. So he never get to have his brain to think extra. Okay, there's this obstacle in front of me. Should I jump? Should I go under? Or should I go on the side or something like that? But instead, he's walking on a straight line. The obstacle happened in front. The men in gray suit quickly went in front of him to open the line, the road for him to continue walking on the straight line. Does that make sense? So William's brain never in that position to work extra. So he will never understand or be able to jump an obstacle. Unlike Harry, throughout his life, they keep on putting obstacle after obstacle in front of him. So his brain is already processed. And when something happened, it quickly popped up and said, okay, I could do this, I could do that. Alright, so let's hear. What's wrong with autocorrect? I meant Bridget Brown. Just those two old clips staying with me, the pet bunny, and Harry will have the fun. Clip spoke so much about him and how the Wells were happy to treat Harry as third wheel. All was calm then when William thought Harry wouldn't have a life of his own, but now, yeah, that's pretty much that. And the thing is, and this is what's good with Harry, I don't think he ever explained to them his plan. They might know little thing here and there, but knowing how they act and he understand their personalities, you know, their natural behavior. So he kept many of his things to himself. But the moment that he has his own family and due to his own experience, this is where he put his feet down and said, nope. What you did to me, I kept my pain. It's not like I'm talking for Harry here. I'm just saying, this is the way that I see it. So when they start transferring the same nonsense they used to do to Harry, and Harry put his feet down and said, look, what you did to me, even though I never cry, or maybe he did, but they ignore him anyway, it was very painful. I do not want that kind of a pain to pass on to my children. This is the learning process of things. William will never get, will never understand, and I'm very afraid for his kids. Okay? Because I don't know if they're teaching him any, whatever they should be teaching them. Okay, there's this here. Did I read this? Envy is a terrible thing if not corrected, and the time is devastating. Yeah, when the thing happened, this is the thing when you come home with your child from a hospital, there is no manual book. When the kids start displaying certain things, this is when the moment it happened, if you are lucky enough to be aware of it, is to address it. There are a couple things in my own family. When I see it happen, I will bring it up to my husband. He will brush it up. Oh, it's nothing, he's young, but I'm seeing it. And then listening to my husband, some of those little behaviors that were happening when he was much younger or happening now as he get older is becoming too much of a burden. And when my husband finally realized some of the thing I used to tell him, he's like, you're right. And I said, look, let me not bring too much of my personal thing here. But yes, there's no manual thing. If when you see it, you don't tackle it, it will become a huge problem. All right. Let's see here. Envy is a terrible thing if not corrected, and the time is devastating. They didn't teach him to love Harry. This is the thing Princess Diana was doing, and then I guess once they took the mother away from them, and then they even make that even worse for him to put nonsense in his head. He's the best thing that ever happened to England. I'm just saying, but whatever. Let's continue. Could have been done when they were small and easier. Harry always loved his big brother. They could have changed envy for protecting Harry. That feeling would have been enough to keep peace. And this is why he backstabbed Harry. That plan that they have to not bend the knee for the papers. Harry kept his promise, but William bent the knee, and this is why William is in problem right now. He won't get that type of help from that family. Jealousy, competition, and cover-ups, etc. are the norm. They're all psychopaths. Okay, again, all these started since the Queen Father passed. Okay, I explained in part 1 of this today's recording. LOL, so sad. I will say tragic, and the future will tell us how tragic it was and is. Alright, that's an ad. Let's go to the next one. There's more comment, but let's move on. In the first video, I only covered just two tweets, so, and I have plenty more. There's that here. The heir was the golden child. Girls around the world admire his good looks. However, he matured, his beauty faded, and he possesses neither the intellect, charisma, or personality to win people's heart. Even his sycophantic media can't make him appealing. He knows it, and he's afraid. Yeah, that's his problem. Okay. He's unpopular, and media like to platform him in order to keep the commoners in line. This is the thing here. This is what the institution and the media in the UK and politicians have this under control in the UK, and then they're bringing it here in the US. But the US never deal with this kind of BS. I mean, some took a while to understand it. They ease themselves in the US. They start with the racism, because that racism was always underneath their skin, but they used to suppress it. They didn't know how to maneuver around this. So when the UK ease themselves, buying the Will Lewis, the Murdoch, ease themselves into US media, some American bought it, and this is how Trump got in office. Alright? And then now, when African American was screaming on top of their lung, on top of the rooftop, telling them this is what's happening, this and that, they ignored them. They were so comfortable. The media was so comfortable with the way they were going about it, because they have experience in the UK, how to manipulate people. So after the election, when African Americans said, okay, you don't want to listen, this is what you want, all right, we'll step back, let you deal with your problem, because we warn you. Now they don't have the excuse to say this is African American problem. African American did this. They didn't have anybody to point finger at anymore. So now some white American are starting to see it. And this is why I keep on saying, and some people, in order for them to understand it, they have to feel it. They have to go through it. So this is the where we are now at this stage. So the UK, almost, well, we have a small window of opportunity. We have a midterm election coming soon. So we need to tackle that. So we don't give Trump all that power that he's going after right now. The Supreme Court needs to be re-evaluated to why when you... I'm going a little bit of politics now. I read a comment where some people said they come to watch some of the Sussex Squad channels to move away from politics, but they all integrated. They all part of it. It's one. It's a chain. So the Supreme Court needs to be reevaluated and be questioned, because when they took oath of office was to protect and defend the Constitution. It seems like they're destroying the Constitution for that guy that's in office right now. All right, let's start all over again. He's unpopular. He's meaning William. He's unpopular, and media like to platform him in order to keep the commoners in line. This is the part that made me talk about the politics here. He's on third front pages today playing for sympathy. I have no sympathy for him, as I have a friend who's in Bali right now to collect her 23-year-old son's body after drowning. Oh my God. Oh, she gets all my sympathy. Oh my God, my condolences to your friend. Same here. Just going to leave this here. If he pay attention to himself and maybe what he should have been doing, William. Instead, if he disagreed the way his father is running the institution, right now what he needs to do is go to the drawing board. How do I want my reign to be? How do I want to run my reign? Instead of stepping into Charles' reign, and Charles is playing out very well. He did his thing. He makes sure nobody talk about Princess Diana while he's in power. All right. Reason for William's rage at Harry is not Oprah, Harry, Meghan docu-spare, or talking bad about Kate. Is it Kate or King? I'm not sure. Harry left what was supposed to be his lifetime role of being William's shadow, workhorse, and scapegoat. William was told from childhood that his pair will always be there for him to rule over, one of two. Without Harry, William's lack of charms, talent, leadership, work ethic is visible, whereas Harry has successfully managed to create a good life away from royal fold. Harry's popular and successful, loved by his wife, kids, and people worldwide. William hates that. Harry leaving exposed him to enter. Guess what? Whose fault is that? That's William's fault. The nonsense they put in his head to think that he's the best thing that ever happened in the UK, and he believes them. Meanwhile, he knows very well it was Harry who was doing all the work. And this is why I said in some past videos, we could see who was behind Royal Foundation, all the things that was making the institution look good. It was all Harry. And every time I said things like that, I'm thinking of the thumbnails, the power of one. That was a little bit after Harry and Meghan left the UK. You have, I think, William and Kate, Charles and Camilla. Was it Charles and Camilla? Or was it Edward and Sophie? And then you have the Queen in the middle, all in red, and then next to the Queen, I think is Charles and Camilla, and then after that, I think is Princess Anne. So they thought they were showing they still strong, they powerful. That's the way that I saw that picture. And then I put right next to the image 3 different image of Harry, and I said the power of one. It takes all of them to give a small fraction of Harry. So Harry was the one who was making the institution look good, and the Queen as well. The moment the Queen died, that was it. And then you could see when the Queen passed, these people, the media, they didn't even recognize the Queen's long reign, whether or not you like it. I don't want to talk about colonialism, what happened to some other countries, all of that. I'm not talking about that. But for the UK's sake, the paper then even highlighted the good that she did for the people of the UK. They went after Meghan left and right. It was so unbearable to cover it. Go on PYTE, I think I cover it. So the papers, it's unbelievable. Let me read what's there and then move on. Let's pause this. Bottom up. Brilliantly said. The thing is, he could have briefed instead something like, so glad my father and brother have reconciled, but instead we get raging clown, bully vibes, toddler. Good looks? Guess it's the eye of the beholder. Well, when he was young, I would say he did, but the caption said that as he get older, a lot of those things fade away, including his looks. I guess it's in the eyes of beholder. Really wasted his good-looking years by being lazy. The heir is now desperate for attention, and he uses his loyal dogs to pave him his way, yet he doesn't realize how he looks on the outside. They can use any kind of bribe or mainstream media channel. The truth will always surface from the deepest waters. Handed everything, always push forward. Cannot do anything, but he is a poser. He rages as he has wasted every opportunity afforded to him. The man-boy narcissist wonders where all the admiration went. He trashes at his brother, made to feel less, who worked harder, kinder. And that's the thing as well with the institution, because he's the youngest in terms of the heir to the throne and things like that. And he feel like his voice is more important than anybody. And the worst thing is they listen to him. Okay, even during the Syndrium. And I believe in some part I read that William was enraged when during the Syndrium summit. He already had everything mapped out, put in writing, final say for Harry. Nobody stood there to say, no, we need Harry, knowing very well Harry is the one that's doing all the good publicity for the institution, but they listened to him anyway. I will give the Queen a pass because she knew she was about to go. She was in her 90s, she's about to go. So Charles and William, it's like the blind leading the blind. They agree and then give him the exit out, and I think that was the best thing. So I need to thank William for that. Handed everything, always push forward. Okay, I read that. I never found William attractive. He always had a face of a horsey rat. Okay, it's like one of the comments said, is on the eyes of the beholder. Reason for William rage at Harry is not Oprah. Okay, I read this already, so let's move on to the next tweet. Alright, I think it's the same discussion. Now this is a thing about the bunny. Someone put this out. What you're seeing play out is a repeat of the bunny video. Notice how Willie wants nothing to do with the bunny rabbit until Harry's holding it. Willie at age 43 is still behaving the same as he was at age 3. Alright, let's listen. 27 seconds, there will be screenshot in between. Oh. You see how Princess Diana makes sure he got it the first time? The choice? You see, Princess Diana was a good mother. Ignore him now. She makes sure to give William the first choice. Okay? Because they claim that he's the heir, so he got the first choice. He didn't want it. Alright? And you see Princess Diana come back, try to give it to him again. Oh, I pressed it the right place. Okay? Let him see it again. Okay? Alright, you don't want it, that's fine. Idiot. Alright, yep, and folks say Meghan caused a rape. Willie has been obsessed with one-upping Harry from day one. Charles should have gotten Willie some help. I mean, he's freaking blind as well. But anyway, Princess Diana saw it and she was doing her best, but she left. Well, not she left, they took her away. Okay, the accident. Okay, some of you may not. Okay, the signs were there, but the heir has probably never been disciplined, corrected, told to take accountability, etc. Forever spoiled and angry. It's a shame Willie never got the psychological intervention he so desperately needs. Let's pause this. These are the two things one of the comment was mentioning. Okay, I read this. That bunny was trying to run from that little demon. The bunny stayed still when good King Harry was holding him. Yep, the poor bunny ran for his life. You have that other video too. He doesn't want to follow Diana until mention Harry and you can see him running. He never changed. Exactly. Here's the other video. Alright, 16 seconds, screenshot in between.
Harry will go. Alright, Harry will have all the fun then. No, it's alright. No.
Okay, Princess Diana got him. Understood. Alright, OMG, great analogy. He was always a demon child. Let me finish with these two. Yeah, these two conversations. OMG, great analogy. He was always a demon child. My mother saw it. Mom told me. Alright, let's pause this. It's distracting. Mom told me day one that Harry was the smart, inquisitive child, and William acted a bit touched and not by the hand of God. There's the look here. All the issue they had with William was placed on Harry. The drinking, drugs, ill temper, that's Will, not Harry. Your mother is a wise woman. This is a new conversation here because this one stopped here. The line then continue. OMG, he hasn't changed at all. There's that. Alright, so let's put this little conversation here. Williams is the demon spawn. Spit fact. There's also the skiing video where Harry is a natural and William struggle. Instead of getting him the help he need, they wrap him in cotton wool and told him he's special as he will be king one day. The system failed him and now he's out of control. Exactly, it's the system. They keep on putting nonsense in his head. Quite a few videos of really not wanting something until Harry has it, of really being jealous because Harry is popular, good at something, and Will's arrogant, belittling and entitlement of Harry. These videos span all the way from childhood to even into their 30s. Prince Harry has been brave since his childhood. Seriously, who else will take on an institution that's been around for over a millennium all on their own? The world is beginning to acknowledge his courage. Wait and see. I mean, this is what's good with the squad. Let's give a shout out to the squad, especially the original squaddies. For some of you who just happened to stumble on my channel, I was not one of the original squaddies. So when I started seeing the headlines, the negative headlines about Meghan, it got me thinking. Because I was happy for Meghan, because I used to take the institution, the royal family, to be a higher standard, not that petty, childish mindset, little thing that mean nothing. They're taking it as a huge issue. That wasn't my thought at all. So when Meghan married Harry, I was very happy for her. So occasionally when I see headlines, I will look and see what's going on. But it was negative after negative after negative. I would say, let's say the first three negative headlines, I brush it off. And then I started thinking, knowing how African American are, they're not that, I understand the tabloid, the paper, the media might paint them negative, but I know African American teach their kids discipline, this kind of thing, to be humble, respect, all of those things, ethic, understanding. So I went on to a quest and review and see what was going on, and then what I saw was full-blown BS. And when I went on Twitter, I had my original Twitter account since 2009. Never, I think I created it, but never went in it to interact. And I couldn't even get in Twitter at that time because I forgot my password. But eventually I got in. And then for some reason, the first person I stumbled on was either Michelle and Tina. And I was so upset, thinking that I was the only one who was a squaddie. I didn't even know what squaddie was, but I thought I was the only one who saw what was going on. But apparently Twitter had its own little thing going on defending Meghan. So these are the original squaddies I want to send a shout out to, because they saw it from day one. They went at it. But anyway, let's continue. Next tweet. Prince William's red line: no royal should grant Harry the legitimacy of a meeting. He's a freaking idiot. The nonsense they put in his head, he thinks that Harry is not a blood prince or something like that. That's the separation they made him believe, and he's buying it. Same as the derangers too. I don't know why King Charles allowed William to treat him like an afterthought. Maybe it is a curse of the Africans they brought for hundreds of years and buried in watery graves, then went back, colonized, raped, and robbed them. Will needs a Catholic exorcism. This is crazy. In my opinion, King Charles III trained William to be this way, so he got what he deserved. King Charles III should have left Diana alone. Perhaps her training of William would have benefited King Charles III. So it is what it is. Alright, these are some of the things I was saying at the beginning of the recording. Alright, so there's more here. Someone in that island is making his ego feeling extra good by feeding him BS to further divide the royal family. What I'm saying here is that maybe, let's say during the conversation with Charles and Harry, the meeting that took place, someone was passing information to William, and then William went and leaked it. Alright, once deadbeat dad is gone, the ego feeder, aka horse, will further control him and William's heir. That's what I think is happening if this is true. Other than that, Egg could shove it. Harry doesn't care. Alright. I was talking in terms of a lot. I didn't mention a lot of things with the exception of Harry. Harry is legitimate by blood. His blood royal that is not tax funded. William needs to process this, and that Harry does more meaningful and impactful work than he does, despite not being the heir that's protected by a media empire and which covers up his mediocrity. William needs therapy because it's not Harry who is hurting. Harry is free, William is trapped. Alright, there's that. Clown, mad future king. Okay, after this, that's it. Willie Pegg is behaving like a blackmail, compromised, disturbed maniac who is falling to pieces. And this is what I'm saying. Maybe there's a deal he make with the media. Could have been after the deal he made not suing them, and they give him extra money to control Harry, and he can't control Harry. Maybe that's part of that. Whatever dirt Fleet Street has on him must be detrimental for him to maintain such hatred toward his brother. Free yourself, William. Okay, so there's that. Let's do one more and then I'll do another video to continue. I'm gonna try to keep those recording 30 minutes. I've already passed 30 minutes. Alright, next tweet. So the question is, who is leaking, William or Charles? How did Matt know that kisses and gifts were exchanged? Matt is William's mouthpiece, so obviously this came from William. The crash out over a cup of tea and some cake is truly monumental. Harry is the only one who comes out of this looking like a kind, decent, caring son who just wants to see his sick father, who wants to bring his children to meet their grandfather. William and Charles come out of this looking like a mental cases. They are, especially William. Alright, so I think I covered this already and I put it twice. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, I covered that already. So this is the end of this video. I'm gonna create another video. We're gonna start with this. Again, I think it's gonna continue with the leaking. Alright, so we're gonna start with this. It's a video. So please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Alright, so that's it. Stay tuned for part 3, video 3.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.